Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, known as MBS, met with Trump in the White House today. Now, he was asked about the Abraham Accords. He said he was keen, but that he had one condition. Have a look.
We want to be part of the Abraham Accord, but we want also to be sure that we secure a clear path of two-state solution.
We've had a very good talk on the Abraham Accords. We talked about one state, two state. We talked about a lot of things.
How funny is Trump? One state, two state. And the Crown Prince is sitting there saying, we want two states. Anyway, joining me now to discuss is former Israeli politician Einat Wilf. Einat, great to have you on the show. Thank you. Look, it is important that this normalisation deal go ahead, important to Israel and to America, but, I mean, that's a seemingly impossible condition to meet, isn't it?
I actually always thought that this is the easiest condition to meet, because once you define it as a pathway to a two-state solution or a vision or a pathway to a Palestinian state, all that Israel has to do is say, look, the pathway to one more Arab state, to a two-state solution, is the same one that it's been for the last century and more. That the Arabs of the West Bank and Gaza, the Palestinians, will finally decide that it's more important for them to build a state for themselves rather than to destroy the Jewish state. That has only ever been the obstacle. It's an ideology that I've come to call Palestinianism. The only obstacle ever to peace has never been about settlement or occupation or this or that Israeli government or prime minister. It's always been the obsessive Arab and especially Palestinian Arab rejection of the Jewish right to self-determination in any part of the land of Israel. That has only ever been the obstacle to peace. So that all that Israel has to do is say, look, this is the path. This has only ever been the path. And when one day those Arabs will no longer be Palestinianists, will no longer be obsessed with the non-existence of a Jewish state, when they decide that they want to build for themselves rather than destroy for us, they will discover, as has been the case for the last century, that the Jews, other than our obstinate desire to be sovereign in at least part of our homeland, were never the problem.
Yeah, you're right. Time and time again, it's not Israel that's walked away from the two-state solution. I want to ask you about the narrative that is widely accepted about a famine in Gaza. Well, the World Obesity Federation, and this is a lead partner to the UN's World Health Organization, has ranked countries' obesity prevalence. And according to their ranking, so a UN body, the Palestinian territories is 27th, while Israel places 101st. So according to this UN body, Einat, there seems to be more obese Palestinians than Israelis. Is this surprising?
Of course not to Israelis. And we also saw it, by the way, in all the images, not the ones that were doctored, but the actual images that came when you had open images of people in Gaza. And we saw it again and again. We know that the famine was a libel, one in a long list of libels. And we know that this is, by the way, exactly how Palestinianism works. You libel Israel with anything that sticks. If it's revealed to be a lie, you immediately replace it with another libel. We heard that Gaza was an open-air prison. As soon as it was revealed to be a total lie, it was replaced with other lies, famine, genocide. But the purpose of all these libels is not to reflect any kind of reality. The purpose of the libels is to create a global mindset that through endless repetition, through laundering it in institutions of prestige like the UN, which shouldn't be, but it is, academia, human rights organization, by laundering these libels through supposedly respectable means, it creates for a lot of people a 24/7, 360 constant assault that leads them to believe that Israel, Zionism, sometimes they just attach it to a Star of David on their posters, is uniquely evil, and that the world would be better off without it. And this is what we need to expose, that this is the mechanism of the libel, to create through repetition and laundering of prestige the idea that Israel is uniquely evil and therefore should not exist.
Yeah, we've covered it a lot on this program. Einat Wilf, great to have you on the show again. Thank you.